A very good afternoon to one and all. Welcome to this special webinar that is uniquely titled, "Excuse me, is CPF really enough for your retirement?" Now, since this is a Chinese New Year period, first and foremost, I would like to wish all of you a happy Chinese New Year. The Chinese got a very unique way of wishing each other during this period. And I think it's quite common across all the dialects group, and that is to say, 恭喜发财. So here I want to wish you prosperity not only during your working years, but right into your retirement years. Okay? So let's get into the topic of, excuse me, is CPF really enough for retirement? Now, CPF is something that we have no choice. All of us, from the day that we start working to the day we retire, stop working, as long as we draw salary, we have to contribute 37% subject to certain T&C, into this account. And that is a lot of money. Have you ever wondered how much will you be getting back at the end of the day? In what form will you be getting back? And of course, is it enough for your retirement? The totality of CPF scheme, according to, if you were ever study into it, can be said as the basic financial plan of Singaporean. But today, we're going to concentrate only on retirement. Now, I believe you have received an email from CPF board saying that your annual statement, or we call it yearly statement of account, ending 31st December 2021 is ready for download. I strongly encourage you to go log into your CPF, download this statement, and take a look at how well you have been doing in terms of accumulation towards your retirement. Well, you could be doing well currently, but how will you fare at 55? And how about at your retirement age, maybe at 60, 62, 65, or 67? Now, not many people can tell you the future projection. What this report only can tell you is current as end of 31st December. Do you want to know or have a glimpse or have some idea how will it be like at your age 55 and ultimately at your retirement age? And then from there, you can make a conclusion whether is CPF alone enough for retirement. Well, let me go into a little bit on the importance of retirement planning first. This is a very interesting survey done in 2020. And in this survey, the people that took it are probably people like you, in this age range, in this income range. So I hope you can find yourself in this survey. The finding of this survey got 4 key points. The first key point is that 1 in 2 have not saved enough. Have you saved enough for retirement, or you don't even have any idea about it? Second finding, 57% of them say that retirement planning is a significant source of stress in their life. I think I can totally agree with that. And my reason for that is that, you see, today it's not that we earn lesser, but because the demand of money is everywhere. When we open our social media, they somehow know what we want. And they present a lot of things to us, and we simply buy or spend our money. And we have not prioritized our retirement. Okay? And therefore, deep in our heart, we know we need to save. But yet, we keep on procrastinating. And the stress level goes up and higher. So, I don't know whether you feel that or not. 72% of them have no insurance below the age of 40. Well, what has insurance to do with retirement planning? It has to. Because one kind of retirement is called FORCE, forced retirement, due to accidental or due to medical. When that happens, how are you going to finance your premature retirement years? Think about that. So insurance is probably one of the best instruments that can provide the funding. Of course, the next part, 62% of them have no will done. I always say that retirement planning is never complete until you have done your estate planning. Because if you have done your retirement well, you may pass on earlier or later. But one thing for sure, you'll leave something behind. And it's good for you to decide who to give to, in what amount, and at minimum loss. And the last part of the finding is about 46%, about 1 in 2 of them think that they would like to rely on their children to take care of them. But I'd like to ask you to think twice. I will expand on that later on. Now, last year, there was a survey that done by Great Eastern too. Say that 1 in 2 of them regretted not starting early. Today, through this webinar, I hope you will not live a life of regret. That means to say, when you reach your retirement age, I hope you will not say that, I wish I started saving earlier. Okay? And in AIA survey last year, same thing, 1 in 2 have not saved enough, but more interestingly, they discovered that some parents place their children, higher priority than their retirement planning. Well, there's no right and wrong answer. Whether you put your children first or you put yourself first. But one thing you have to bear in mind, okay? Can you rely on the children ultimately when you need them to take care of you? I always like to say, as parents, most of us in Singapore, if one of our child need help, need care, and even to extend that either one of the spouse had to quit full-time to look after, will we be willing to do it? The answer is probably yes. But let's turn the table around. This time, we are old and we need help. We need nursing care. Will our children quit their job to look after us? Well, some may, but some may not. I'd rather have you, to have a backup plan just in case they can't. Not that they don't want, but just circumstances doesn't allow them. Okay? Now, CPF also reminds us that the future is closer than you think. You see, retirement planning can only be done during our prime working years. Okay? This is the only period that we can save from our earning or invest with our surpluses. The future is closer than you think. There's a reason why CPF, from the moment we start working, make us save 37% of our gross income. And that is a lot of money. I would like to say again, 4 in 5 of them would like to maintain their retirement lifestyle, a pre-retirement lifestyle into their retirement years. But guess what? They are clueless as to how much they need to have and how to go about accumulating it. So, to compound the problem, it's quite challenging to retire in Singapore because of longevity, rapidly aging nation, and the cost of living is quite high in Singapore. Let me share with you in terms of longevity, that's all. It said that for every 2 persons that live up to 65, 1 of them will live up to 85. Wow, take a look at that. And for every 3 persons that live up to 65, 1 will live up to 90. Well, you can argue against it that it will not happen. It's just a statistic, it's not you. But today, if I tell you my good friend passed away around 75, what will you say? A little bit too young, right? But if I tell you it's around 85, you say it's normal. But if I tell you it's 95, you'll say good life. Somehow we have accepted that living up to 85 plus minus 5 years is a norm. I always say, as long as you breathe Singapore air, eat Singapore food, subject to Singapore stress, we will probably live up to 85 plus minus 5 years. So because of this longevity, retirement will come to us just in a matter of time. Because of this longevity, retirement is an highly expected event. Okay? We cannot choose to run away. It will come to us one of these days. It's also a very expensive event because Singapore is an expensive city. Okay? And lastly, Singaporeans already start to accept that retirement is quite a personal event. We can't really depend on government handouts or even our children because to start off, many family nuclear today is very small. We only have 1, maybe at most 2. 3 is quite rare, right? So retirement have to be taken seriously in Singapore by Singaporeans. Our government take a serious view in it and therefore they come up with this one of the world-class retirement scheme called CPF. Now, before I go right into CPF, I would like to ask you a question. Do we really need to plan for our retirement? I think the answer is right on the slide already. Many of you will say yes, but I will say no. Whether you plan or you don't plan, you will still retire. The difference is quality. For those people who desire the upper part of the picture on the slide, that kind of lifestyle, I would like to say that, no, this kind of lifestyle never happen by chance, it's always by choice. Okay? So therefore, it's important for you to plan it for it to happen because it will never happen naturally. Now, so with that, I also want to go to the next slide to tell you that retirement in Singapore is about living. Can you imagine, right? When you enter retirement, you live a life of essential. Well, what is a life of essential? Remember in 2020, when Singapore entered into circuit breaker period. You can't go to a coffee shop. You can't go to a shopping mall. You can't travel. Not because of the pandemic, but because you don't have the money. Will you enjoy this kind of lifestyle? So for all of you here, if you desire the upper rung of the lifestyle, you have to make it happen. And it's possible. Just plan for it and not hope for it. So, retirement planning is mainly creating options for ourselves. If you don't want, or you tidak apa, you don't care, then it doesn't matter. But if you really want option, for example, to retire at 60 or 62 or even at 55, you can make that happen. Retirement is all about living. Come on, we work so hard all our life. Are we going to go into less comfort, or we call it downgraded lifestyle, the moment we have all the time in our hand to do all the things that we always wish to do? I think that is not ideal. Why don't spend some time to take a look at how is your retirement preparation at this moment? Retirement planning is also to take care of the word if. What if we live long? What if we die young? But above all, I say retirement planning is to enable us to be above circumstances and not under circumstances. Am I right? Would you like to be control of your life? Do you need to ask your children for money to go for the tour? I think that would be very sad. It would be good if we got some money of our own, to do what we always wanted to do. Now, when we meet our financial consultant, what do they do for us? They compute under the expense method, and the number that they generate is usually quite big. Take, for example, this case that you take on the slide. The amount come out is about 1.67 million. That is a lot of money. And when you look at this number, in our heart, we know that it's beyond our reach. And what happened? Our stress level go up. And we give excuses to our financial consultant to say that, well, it's okay, I done my job, I know what I'm doing, and we just procrastinate or try to avoid discussing about retirement. But today, you attend this webinar, I bring you good news. Retirement, 1.67 million, is achievable if you were to factor CPF into it. Don't forget, we save 37% of our gross income subject to T&C into this scheme, and that is a lot of money, and I'm going to show you how much it is. But whether is it enough or not enough, it will depend on your expectation. Let's go to the next slide. I want you to have an understanding. I can't really go deep into CPF, but a brief and critical part of CPF, you need to understand that. And from here, you roughly will be able to conclude whether is it enough for your retirement. So CPF is our basic retirement plan, okay? And it's a world-class. It started in 1955 as a compulsory saving program for all Singaporeans to save towards their retirement years, okay? And it consists of two parties, the employer, the employee, and right now, Singaporean and PR are compulsory to be in this scheme. And before that, it was only funding retirement. Now it expanded to medical care as well as housing. So CPF got three objectives, okay, in terms of provision. There is three basic needs in retirement. They say it's important to have a roof over our head so that during our retirement years, we will never be chased out of our house or become a homeless where we need to sleep on the street. So a house is something that we can have via CPF. Singapore boasts to have 90% of home ownership, and that is a very high number. Secondly, medical care is something that a lot of retirees in other part of the world that are concerned about. But in Singapore, we are so blessed We got MediShield Life. I always say that regardless of race, language, or religion, regardless whether you're poor or rich, young or old, MediShield Life covers us with one of the best medical standards in the world. And lastly, CPF makes sure that we have monthly income. When everybody don't give us any more money, for example, should our children stop giving us money? Should our stock stop giving us dividends? Should our rental income stop yielding any income? We will still have income in the form of CPF Life. Isn't that comforting? But the question is it enough? Well, last year there was this article saying that this 67-year-old lady is able to amass 1.6 million. It started everybody talking about it. But I want to tell you, these are rare cases. It's just like HDB crossed $1 million in sales value. There are a few of them. Just like over here, the next slide, we have people crossing $1 million. But there are few of them. Most of us will not cross $1 million. But nevertheless, most of us own a HDB, there's of value. So in terms of CPF, we do have a lot of money. In the slide, you can see some of the examples. I didn't cherry pick them. But they are a lot of money. They are not high income earner either. But nevertheless, it looks attractive. In fact, there's a saying that a lot of Singaporeans got more money in their CPF than in their bank account. I got a client just turned 55 years old last October. And guess what? After setting aside retirement sum, she has 470,000 in her SA and OA that she can withdraw anytime, many times. 470,000. That is awesome lot of money. Again, the question, is it enough? Okay? Or will she carelessly start drawing down and spend it like there's no tomorrow? And at the end, still suffer the consequences of inadequacy in retirement provision. CPF, the reason why it can enable us to accumulate so much money, because it's a systematic and organized way of saving. Okay, you have no choice. Okay, you have no choice. And because of that, it enables us to buy our house, put a deposit, fund installment, at the end still got a healthy sum for us to spend in terms of cash. So how does your statement look like? After today's webinar, take some time, log into with your SingPass into cpf.gov.sg, and you will see out there your yearly statement of account. Click download and take a look. If you don't know how to read, go and visit PFP FA, the booth later on. No? Seek an audience with the associate from PFP FA. They will be able to help you to understand it. Okay? Because the report looks so simple, yet so complicated. Then, just in case for some of you look at your report, hey, why mine so little? Albert showed big number, mine so little. I can tell you that probably the answer is that you bought a big house. Not a BTO flat, maybe an expensive resale flat in a prime area, or condominium or landed. Because property is a main culprit that siphons out our CPF money. So this part, again, we need to see case to case. This 37%, as I say, there are three things you need to know from this 37% saving plan. In what form are we getting back? How much are we getting back? And is it enough? So let me answer the first question. In what form are we getting back? And how much? Followed by the second question, how much is that? You see, you and I could start with the same pay, same increment through our life from the day we start work to the day we reach 55 years old. Our contribution will be exactly because we went through the same promotion, pay increment. But do you know what? At the end of 55, your number will differ from my number. Because CPF got a lot of scheme. Maybe me carelessly use all my OA. Not carelessly, I should not say carelessly. Maybe I plan to use my OA to fund my private house. So therefore, I have very little. Or I pay my whole family shield plan. Or maybe I invested well, or I invested with not much skill set and I lost money. Whatever it is, at the end of the day, your number and my number will be different. But what happened at 55 years old? This is exactly what's going to happen. At 55 years old, you're going to have a lot of money, but I don't know how much. If you really want, because you're only at 30 plus years old or early 40, again, I'm not selling Koyo, but the associate in PFPFA have gone through a very special training on CPF. They are able to give you a projection of what happened at 55. Let me show you what is it like. So at 55, whatever amount that you have, they will create an RA account, retirement account, and they'll lock in the full retirement sum. Should you turn 55 this year, it will be 192,000. Right into this account, and there's no way you can take it out. So for this example that is shown on the screen, you'll be left with only about 208,000. That is your excess money. But what happened to the 192,000 meantime? You will continue to grow at 4% to your 65. 65 is the earliest age that you have to reach before you can use this pack of money to buy CPF Life. By the way, CPF Life is a life annuity. Because the moment you buy, you'll get a monthly income of about 1,500 per month for the rest of your life. So how does CPF return to us? In what form? Let me show you. The two forms will be monthly income from 65 for the rest of our life. Okay, for the rest of our life. We'll never outlive this fund, incoming fund. Whereas, the other hand, they give us a bag of money where you can withdraw anytime, many times. So, this bag of money can use to supplement our CPF Life income in case it's not enough. Or, just in case there's something that unexpected happened, that we need to spend money, we can always draw from this bag of money and do not have to ask our children to pay for the repair or borrow some money from somewhere else. We do not have to. So, in fact, it's very comforting to have a bag of money during our retirement year of sizable sum and a monthly income for life. But as to exactly how much you're going to have, well, to each individual, it differs. It all depends on how you manage your CPF. Okay? So, let me show you the next slide. You can get this one-page report, okay, where can give you a projection of your 55 years old in terms of how much you can get at 55. So for this example, it's going to have about 357,000 excess money. And then in terms of money income, it's about 1,007 from 65 for the rest of your life. Well, it's always good to know how much and in what form. And PFPFA booth, just go there and indicate your interest that you would like to have this one-page report. They will be able to give you this projection. Now, it may not be accurate to the decimal place, but at least it gives you an indicator of roughly how much you're going to get based on certain assumptions. Now, let me go into two examples. So these two examples, the first one is 28 years old, earning about 5,008. This statement ends in December 2019. And the incoming fund into his CPF is 30,000. The outgoing is only $430 because he hasn't started buying property yet. And if you subtract the 430 from the 30,000, guess what? Almost still 30,000 is being credited into his CPF. Isn't that a lot of money? Isn't that a lot of money? I think you can get this from your YSOA statement after this webinar. Just click and download, take a look at your number, see how much is being credited to your account in year 2021. Now, another person that is much older, because I believe our audience got, from people who are 30 to about 60 plus years old. Well, this age 53 earned about 10,000. She got 60,000 walked into her CPF, ending December 2019. Her house is fully paid and only 1,007 is taken now. And guess what? Again, almost 60,000 is being credited. If you say CPF is a lousy wealth accumulator, you better think twice. Take a look at the number. On your own, will you be able to accumulate so much per year? That is a lot of money. But again, the question is that, is it enough? Is it enough for our retirement? So I'm going to use this as a case study. The 53 years old woman earning 10,000, where 59,000 at the age of 53 was credited into her CPF. Okay? Let's take a look. What kind of basic lifestyle CPF can provide? Now, the PFPFA associate will walk you through if you really want them to develop your retirement planning. They will not ask you to do anything else But what they're going to do is ask you to do stage 1 planning. Why is stage 1 planning? Is to understand the basic retirement plan, that is your CPF. Okay, that means to say the one-page report, how much and in what form. Then after that, they will tell you how well, relying on CPF alone, it can provide you for your retirement. So for this case, you'll see that the answer, okay, by just some simple input, basically make out of your 3 current CPF balances, they can generate this one-page report. Again, in this case, can get about 1,550, and then about 400 over 1,000 will be coming out at 55 years old. So now, based on CPF alone, how well can it support? From 65 to 85, the answer is written on top, $2,900. Today's dollar. I repeat, is today's dollar. If this man desired to have $2,900, it's almost $3,000, today's money, for his retirement from 65, then CPF alone will be able to provide this amount of money from 65 to 85. And 2009 times 12 is about 2009 times 12 is about 34,800. In future dollar, if you look at the slide, it's about 49,616. We factor into future dollar because our money gets smaller. And CPF is able to do that from 65 to 85. And I tell you, 2009 is a lot of money. Many of our clients feel that 2009 or 2005 is good enough during our retirement year. So if that is your expectation, the answer is CPF is enough. Congratulations. But when we went back to this woman and asked her what is her expectation, the answer is 5,000. So obviously, 5,000 is not basic lifestyle. 5,000 is a really good lifestyle during retirement. Okay? And CPF seek to provide basic retirement provision, not luxury kind of retirement provision. So 5,000 is definitely too high. And if this woman doesn't do anything else and rely 100% on CPF, it only can last up to about 75 years old. At the age of 75 years old, she'll do her last withdrawal. Thereafter that, she has not enough money in her bank account, CPF bank account, to support the lifestyle that she would like to. So conclusion, CPF is not enough. So again, to answer the third question, is it enough? You'll depend on your expectation. So you see, if you want 5,000, you'll be drawing your reserve and together your CPF life income to support the 5,000 future lifestyle. And that will be a very fast withdrawal. You will empty your reserve in a very quick manner. So what I want to conclude is that the retirement plan created by CPF is to provide basic retirement lifestyle. So for you, if you desire a better lifestyle, you need to take stock of what do you exactly wanted to have and top up as and when necessary. Okay? So this is part of retirement planning. Now, you can do DIY, but I don't recommend that. Because sometimes with DIY, we may not factor a lot of things. We may not have the necessary tools to do the planning. So again, it's good for you to take some time to visit PFA booth to indicate that you like to have just one session with them to see how is it like for your case in terms of retirement preparation at this moment for your retirement years. These are some of the case studies that we compiled last year, and the results show that CPF alone, on the average, can provide 2,000 today's dollar lifestyle. So these are average, just a general cases. Now, whether it's enough or not enough, it's enough, you don't have to do anything else. But let's assume it's not enough. Don't be in a hurry to go and buy plan, or like whatever people ask you to do, go ahead and do. Because at this point of time, I believe you have bought some life insurance, saving, investment. Maybe you got rental income or business income. So under stage 3 planning, we take stock of what you already have and identify from your current portfolio, maybe some of them can be used for retirement funding. So under stage 4, we'll do a reassessment again together with your CPF, okay, to see whether it can meet your desired retirement lifestyle of, let's say for this case, 5,000. Now, there are only two possible outcomes. One is that it's okay, you don't have to do. Therefore, your stress level definitely comes down. The other outcome is that it's still not enough. When it's not enough, I'll show you the gap will be smaller. Let me show you what I mean. This could be some of your current assets that you already acquire. We'll identify them and we put it back. So for this case, interestingly, her current asset will yield another $1,100. That means to say, out of the 5,000 desired expectation, 4,000 is already taken care. 2,009 by CPF, 1,001 by her current asset. So the gap is only 1,000. Now 1,000, is it a big sum? Not really big sum. And therefore, your stress level should go down. And it will come to where I started off. A comfortable retirement is actually within reach for most Singaporeans, if only if we spend some time understanding our CPF, one of the world-class pension scheme. Okay? So, in stage 5, in case, how should you go about doing it? Maybe we do some fine-tuning, like for example, defer your retirement, reduce your expectation, but if all else fail, the associate in PFPFA will not simply recommend to you. The saving plan or investment plan, when they recommend to you, will be something that complement your CPF as well as complement your existing portfolio. So this plan is not any old how plan. And you can find assurance in this. And I'm very happy that they organized this webinar to create awareness about how good CPF is and the importance of factoring CPF into the retirement. Now, once you get all these things done, you have peace of mind. You can look forward towards your retirement and enjoy it. But just in case, for some of you, no matter how you adjust, you still cannot get it done, then you have to learn to endure. What is enduring? The enduring, the government got a standard solution for you. That is to trade down. That means sell your current property and cash it, move down to a 2-room flexi. Or you do a lease buyback. Or maybe you rent out your house. Or you've got children, sue your children because Singapore got this parent maintenance bill. And last of all, carry on working. Not because you love to work, but because you have to work. Is that what you want? So remember, retirement planning is nothing but to create options in life. If you want to have the option, make it happen through planning. And then facilitate it to come to pass. Retirement planning in Singapore is nobody's business. It's all personal business. Okay? So if this is your expectation, what is this expectation? Growing up, study pathology, get married, have children, grow old, one gone, followed by the last one gone. I think this is the very normal life cycle of most Singaporeans, right? Very normal. If that is the case, that means one of these days, you and I will enter into retirement years. Okay? Since it's such an expected event, don't you think that we should go in prepared instead of unprepared? It's just like proud parents. When our child is born, we start an educational funding. Not because the child is definitely going to university and require the funding, but because it's a highly expected event. We expect our child to go to university or at least have a tertiary education. So here, likewise, we will enter into retirement. So the first thing you can do after attending this webinar, besides downloading your yearly statement of account, is to visit the PFPFA booth and request your interest for this one-page report. But this one-page report is only answer the first 2 questions. How much and in what form? I suggest that you request for the 14 pages report that will answer the last question also. Is it enough? Because these 14 pages look something like this. It's quite a comprehensive report based on projection with certain assumption. Okay? With certain assumption. And just to screen in for you, it consists of the one-page report followed by a short summary. Okay? About your status in terms of how well CPF can support you from your desired retirement age to 85 years old and versus your expectation, how much have been taken care of. Okay? This is what you should go for. And it's not easily available elsewhere. The associate in PFPFA have gone through some training to learn the skill set of how to provide this service to you. So in conclusion, I would like to do some Chinese quotation. It says that 父母的家永远是孩子的家，子女的家从来不是父母的家。生孩子是任务，养孩子是义务，靠孩子是错误。说真的，养老真的只能靠自己。孩子对你孝顺是福分，若孩子不够孝顺，我们也强求不来。最好的方法还是提前做好靠自己养老的打算。For those who don't understand Chinese, in simple translation, the best way to prepare for our retirement years is still on our own. Okay? Within ourselves. In another slide, ending slide, I will say that get yourself ready. Are you ready for your next exit? It may be sooner than you expect. Remember, planning can be only done in peacetime. In wartime, you'll be doing firefighting. The immediate action you can do for yourself is be kind to yourself. Provide for the future you. It takes time. Start with understanding CPF. You see, the winter season of life will come on time, whether I'm prepared or not prepared. So, CPF remind us once again, the future is closer than you think. With that, I want to wish you a happy Chinese New Year, prosperous one, all the way into your retirement year. And remember, to achieve that, you must take charge and start early. Goodbye. God bless.